fuck another one, mate. Welcome, guys. We are getting ready. We've just packed our bag. We are flying out tomorrow at 10:15 or 11 o'clock or something like that. Well, I should check in a second. And we are going to go see me get my head punched in front of thousands of people at the Gold Coast exhibition for the podcast Royale event that is coming up. I'm the fourth on the last on the card, so fourth headliner. There's the guys from Uninspired and Unemployed on it. You got Aaron Gox, Andrew Hamilton, famous comedian. You got obviously the Alpha Blokes guys, a whole bunch of other guys that you'll probably see through this video, and a whole bunch of other surprises. We've been training, we've been out there, obviously hit up Europe. And then I've obviously been doing other little bits and pieces. But when I haven't been, I've been punishing myself in the gym, training anywhere between 7 to 8 days, been sparring some real high quality guys. 3 of those dudes who I've sort of focused on had belts. So I've been sparring with them as much as I possibly can. I sort of had about 6 months when I got the call from the guys. I said, hey, do you want to punch on with this dude called Rob? I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And then I sort of started training from that point onwards, probably 2-3 times a week. And then I progressively picked it up before Christmas. And then I sort of, because I knew that I had a whole lot of shit going on. And then I went hard again from sort of Jan. And then I had bits and pieces that I had to commit to. There were, big things that I had to do, which involved a bit of, if you know what I'm saying. And then I had to punish myself again. But towards the end, at the last part of the camp, I was training sort of 8 times a week, which is pretty fucked up. So anyway, we're prepared. I believe I'm fit enough. Hopefully I can get the win up. Hopefully I don't get knocked out, but I guess you gotta watch the whole video to see what the fuck happens to me. Do I win? Do I lose? Do I get knocked out? Who knows? So for some context, this is some training footage of me. I started training, I reckon probably like just before December. Came back in Jan, had a holiday, and then sort of started back like mid-Jan, and then started taking some more serious in Feb, went to Europe, and then had my best friend's wedding. So I had like this like kind of shitty gap in March. So I sort of did, I reckon I did like an 8-week camp over 3 months. So I had like gaps and whatnot. But that was my camp. It was very spasmodic. And for the fight, I was the underdog. So everybody basically had said that I was the underdog because they thought I wasn't training that much. I was training a lot, but it was just that I was having these periods off, which is not ideal for when you're having a fight. So, and then my experience prior to that was that 12 years ago, I'd had a couple exhibition bouts. So I've trained on and off regularly for fitness and stuff like that. So I definitely wasn't a novice, but at the same time, I was very far from a professional. Bags packed, airport ready, got my cowboy hat because we're doing this whole concrete cowboy thing. For those who haven't seen it, I actually rode rodeo, like I rode an actual bull with the Alpha Blokes this time last year. So I'm playing into that whole concrete cowboy thing. I've got like t-shirts and fucking cowboy hat and blah, blah, blah. So that's going to be my catchphrase for the weekend. For those who don't know what a concrete cowboy is, it's someone who thinks they're a cowboy that lives in the city. So that's basically what it is and basically what I am. My flight was a little bit delayed, late for the walk around at the exhibition centre. We get about 2:30, but we're still going to make the way. We're still going to make the press conference, so let's go. I've landed on the Gold Coast and it's fucking freezing. I'm actually cold as shit. It's been hot as in Victoria this last summer. I reckon it was like 24 here. I wish I had a jumper. I didn't bring one jumper, so we'll see how challenging that is this weekend. Looks sick. 96.8. Picking up the bike here, side of the waivers. Let's go. Fuck, this is actually massive.
Yeah, that's where the after party was.
Oh, is it?
I was here last year. I think it's still here this year.
That's not what I was expecting. That's mad. Jesus. A couple of heads.
Fair bit of lip's been thrown around this camp. It's a fight I'm actually personally looking forward to see. How are you feeling, Robbie? What's the message you got for Danny?
I'm feeling real good, and I was going to come up here and throw a whole bunch of chat, but I don't feel physically threatened at all by him. So I'm going to be really respectful and just say I wish him the best of luck.
Oh.
Danny, you run plenty of nightclubs in Melbourne. You've seen every part of the nightclub scene, mate, the underworld. He doesn't know what he's going to get, does he?
I've never been less scared. The bloke's lost 16 kilos. He's obviously good at losing, so Rob, what's a fuck another one, mate?
At the end of the day, when these two dads getting up, going to throw down and give it a red hot fucking going. I think one of us is going to get slept.
Yeah,
I reckon King Sagan's going to knock me out, but we'll fucking see. Better blokes have tried.
Right, boys. Did you say, is he a pussy who's got a company called Wet Pussy? I couldn't hear.
I don't know, I don't touch it.
Make some noise, boys. This is Robbie Sutherland from Better Bloke Project, and this is Danny Graham from Danny Rants.
My missus is here. I've been to shit today. I went to the Alpha Blokes podcast thing at the Broadbeach Tavern. Chilled out, mate. Had a spa, a sauna, rah. And now my missus is here. We had dinner at the Tropic and at the Bird Pavilion. And then we're going to head home and rest up and get some sleep before the flight tomorrow.
Mate, right now you're number like 48. All right?
48 out of how many?
Oh no,
But like, do you think I'm doing anything wrong?
you're intoxicated.
I'm clearly not intoxicated because I have a...
I added this bit in because I wanted people to see how annoying it is when you're working in nightclubs and you work as security guard and you're knocking back people who are clearly fucking hammered and they just argue with you for ages and it's just such a waste of time. And the amount of times I've sat at the front and been like, mate, you can't come in, you're fucking hammered. And they're like, I'm not. And you're like, no, you are. And they're like, it's such a dumb process because only a drunk person would argue with you that they're not drunk, thinking that you're going to change your mind when you're knocked about for being drunk. And I wanted to just showcase that, to see it. But we used to happen all the time and you have to sit there and continue to talk to them because you've got to be polite because you work in hospitality instead of being like, just fuck off, you dumb. Tonight's fight venue, Gold Coast Exhibition, Convention Centre. We'll go check out the ring with my trainers and we'll be back here today at some point at like 5 p.m. or something. Because when I saw it, I was like, yeah. So what's a normal size ring?
7 by 7.
Yeah, because I was like, it doesn't look that massive.
Oh, you want to get in my ring? Oh, you want to get in my ring? Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Two.
Dying to get up there.
I'm so ready for a strap. My palm just went to the ring, did a couple of rounds, and now it's time to do the real thing.
What do you think within there to set up?
I think it's unbelievable. I think the boys have done a great job. And I run events, and I tip my hat to them. I think it's fucking amazing.
At every stage, advanced Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing.
This is the kind of final stage. You can get a bit hand up and put some gloves on, warm up, and get ready for whoa. As tight as I have my reps on. The tightest you had to use never used reps. I don't get
Fuck yeah, Danny, get in, mate. That's a mad kid, bro. You had me pussy smacked it. Come on, then.
pressure. Level changes. That's it. Wait for it.
Yes, Daddy!
Over the top of finish.
Yeah.
Forward pressure. Forward pressure.
30 seconds.
Go, Daddy, go! Go, Daddy, go! Cover!
Final 10 seconds, make some noise. Gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. For the winner by unanimous decision, Teddy!
How good was the atmosphere here tonight? I know you've had a few wild nights in your life, but this have to be topping it one of the best ones, wouldn't it? It's a pretty good atmosphere here.
It was good to fucking hear. After all punching on, everyone getting around there. I want to say, Rob, you're a fucking awesome competitor. You training harder made me a better man. Like, actually, I saw you training, and I was going to take the piss out of it. And once I saw you drop that weight, I thought, this is not an option. This is a real competitor. And you showed it out there, mate. You're a fucking real competitor.
How good is this, mate? This sets the tone on this community, hey? Just on that, is there anyone you'd like to thank, mate? Any of your training team?
My trainers, my heels, who was my sparring partner, all my best mates. I fucking love you guys so much. Without you guys, I'd be nothing. You're always there to support me. I love you to the end and back. And my beautiful wife and daughters. I do this for you to show that someone who's fucking ordinary, big chubby fat dad, can do anything, so can they.
Let's hear it for the dads, eh? Mate, I'm looking forward to having a beer with you more than anyone else. I reckon you'll have a fair crack at it tonight.
Fucking oath, let's hook into it. If there's wet pussy there, JR, buy all of it.
Righto, mate. That was a tough one, but talk us through it.
Oh, I just waited too much. Danny was too good. Credit to him. Like, there's no other excuse. He was better on the night, and that's everything where we are. So, yeah, credit to him.
Hey.
Thanks, bro. I'm so happy I fucking trained for you.
Bro, you hit real hard, eh?
Bro, I don't know, honestly, like, there was a couple where I was like, bang, 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 as hard as I could. As hard as I could, and I'm like, I could see your eyes, but you just get a stop on this Terminator. I'm not joking.
I've got white skin, but I've got that like black colour
hair. In the round, half the second round, I stopped trying. I was just like, I'm just going to just fucking pin you. So every time you hit me, I just try 1, 2, yeah. Because I was like, I'm not going to get you by hitting your head. Like,
Brophy just come up to me, he's like, Lee, just talk. I'm like, yeah, wow.
Don't overswing, Bella. Backstage, baby. We're about to walk into after party. This is all the crew of the fort. Have a couple of bevos and celebrate what we just did. Down here on the beach, I've lost my voice last night from screaming, but I couldn't sleep, so I woke up at like 6 o'clock because I was so G'd up about the whole thing.
and more so just like reflecting and I guess taking in what had just happened. I cannot believe that I just fought at a sold out 5,000 person fucking stadium, and I think they said they did 10,000 pay-per-views in Gold Coast. Like, I'm just a fucking normal dude from Melbourne. I don't believe I'm anything special, and I got to have that opportunity. And the people that were there, like the guest list was fucking insane. There was the uninspired, unemployed guys, Tyson Pedro. There was famous boxers like Isaac Hardman, Ben Hussein, guys that I look up to because I love fighting. I love watching fighting, and I'm the fourth last fight on the card. Then after me, the card was riddled with people that I've been watching for years, and I was hanging out with them in the back talking to them. And there was a point when I got onto the actual ring, and I thought my nerves were going to kick in. They didn't, and I was standing there and I was breathing it in, taking it in, and I just thought to myself, how the fuck is this your life, cunt? Like, how the fuck have you got yourself to this situation where you're standing here in this stadium across from this guy fucking about to punch on in front of all these what I would call celebrities? I just couldn't fathom it. And then I started to smile, and it made me so calm, and I believe that's why I got the win. Like, I generally believe that the guy opponent that I fought, he was a fucking good boxer, he could move, and I just think that the fact that I've been around those crowds and I was able to accept what was going on and not be nervous about it but be happy about it is what got me across that line. So I'm super, super grateful for every single person, my trainers. I'm super grateful for my sparring partners, my wife and my kids, because they allowed me to do this, and it took away a lot of time. I was in obviously Europe, I work a lot, I do content a lot, and then on top of that I was training 8 times a week sometimes. So for them to let me do this and sacrifice time away from them and time being a dad to fucking do, I guess, live a dream or do something crazy again, I'm just the luckiest man alive. Other than that is my mates, my best mates. I've got fucking so many of them. They all came up here. They spent heaps of coin to come up here. And no matter what I've done from the day that I met them, all of them are high school friends, or majority of them are high school friends. And they just always support me, and they're there no matter what I do, no matter what I say. They always tell me I can do what I believe I think I can do. And they're just the best support network a man could ever ask for. But what a fucking absolute experience. The Alpha Post guys have the biggest and craziest community I've ever seen in my whole entire life. To be able to have 15,000 people watch a fight of basically fucking no ones really. Not no ones, but randos. Not professional boxers. Not even some professional boxers get an opportunity to do that. So, fuck. Crazy, man. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I wanted to get into it and talk about the before and the after, but super honestly. So at the start, when I first took the fight on, I was like, yeah, sweet, this looks like it'll be a bit of fun. As time progressed, I saw my opponent was training a lot more, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to actually train for this. I'm going to have to put some work in. So I did. I started to train a little bit more, and as I said, I was on and off because I had all these different commitments, and I was like, fuck, starting to regret them. I was pretty good up until like the last probably 2 weeks. And then I started to get like questions in my head. I was like, oh, am I fit enough? Like, am I sharp enough? Can I actually do this? Like, and I would think about the fight, and I would get like this drop in my stomach, which I think is pretty fucking normal. And then I was like, oh man, why have I signed up for this? But I've done it before, and I knew what I was up for, and I was able to battle those nerves throughout that period of time. I didn't drink the last couple of weeks. I really sort of stuck to it, and even like not being able to have a beer, like it was one of my best mates' birthdays. We're at the pub away for Easter and not having a beer. Like even those little wins were like kind of making me less and less nervous, I would say, over that period of time. And then flew over there, and I was like, this is fucked. I was just thinking about the whole thing, like, fight in front of 5,000 people. And as soon as I walked into the place where I feel like this is probably where most people would crumble, I saw the ring, I saw the crowd, and I was like, fuck, sweet. This is it. Like, this is all I have to do is fight in front of these people. And I'm used to crowds. I've said before, I've been a part of like a mass DJ duo, and I've traveled around the world, and I played in front of big crowds, 5,000, 10,000 people. So as soon as I saw that, it was like, again, probably another example is when I walk into a show. I'm always nervous before I run a show until I see that it's set up. Once it's set up, I feel calm. That exact same feeling I got from this. So I saw it, looked at it, and I was like, sweet. This is sweet. All I'm going to do is punch on for 6 minutes. So then we went through the back, and I noticed a lot of the other guys were nervous. And then I sort of started to see like, hey, look, this could actually be like an advantage for me. Went through the press conference, saw more guys get more nervous. And for me, that again was a walk in the park. I talk in front of people all the time. I love crowds. It's our actual opposite. So on the Friday, which I didn't film a lot just because I didn't think it was that interesting, but in hindsight, I probably should have. I went and had like a sauna with my mates, talked some strategy, went to the Broad Beach Tavern, watched people have beers, went to another place, watched people have beers, had dinner with my missus, and I was really, really chill, and I was like, when are these nerves going to kick in? And then that night I went to sleep and I slept there. I had found some guy's dog in Gold Coast and had to return it to Brisbane. Then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? Didn't even have a dream about getting knocked out or being late to the fight like you normally do. And I was like, these nerves are going to kick in eventually. So that during that whole day, again, I was sweet. We went and got my mouth guard and we did all this like sort of like stuff you have to do, buckets, buy Vaseline, blah, 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 blah. Went down to the place, moved around in the ring and I was just feeling good and feeling comfortable. Roll up to the event. And I was iffy if I should watch all the fights. And there was a lot of knockouts on this card. So I was sort of watching them and I was like, okay, this is going to make me nervous. And then it didn't really get nervous. I definitely had nerves, not pretending I didn't, but it was like 10%. I get worse nerves. I've done stand-up comedy and the nerves of stand-up comedy, way worse. And I would say even the nerves for my festivals, even though I've sold fucking 7,000 to 10,000 tickets, it's way worse. So I was like, oh, these are controllable nerves. I started seeing all these people, like there was, as I said in the one before, there was all these famous people, famous UFC fighters, famous boxers, famous influencers, famous TV stars. And then I was like, okay, I need to not be here because seeing all these famous people is starting to make me feel nervous. So I sort of went back out the back room, sort of chilled out there, watched like a TV. They had a TV for us. And then I started to warm up and whatnot. And I was in the red corner. I was with like Renee Gracie, Tom Dahl, who else do we have out there? Brizzy. And we have a bunch of other guys out there with us. And basically I started to warm up and then I started to get in the zone. I never felt more focused. It was like, I was like fucking razor vision. I was training and then I was getting in trouble with my trainer because he was like, you're revving up too hard, like slow the fuck down. So we started practicing that. So I would go like, ba, 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 and he'd rev me up. I'd have my sparring partner, I guess ex-sparring partner if I don't do it again. And like he would start whacking me around. I was like, harder, harder, harder. And then he would make me breathe and calm down. So we sort of practiced that excitement and then calm down, excitement and then calm down. And then my opponent walked out. I saw him walk out. And then, because the guys before us, they were like 15 minutes to go. And then they were like, he got knocked out in the first round. So then they're like, you got to be out in 5. I was like, cool, gear on, ready to go. Walked out, a little bit nervous. Music plays. You obviously have that scene where I walk out and I'm losing my mind. I start dancing. Not planned at all. Completely not planned at all. We didn't discuss doing that. There was none of that, a conversation about it. I just was sitting there and I was looking through those doors before they kicked them open. And in my head, I was like, how the fuck have you gotten here? Like, you're this rando dude from Melbourne who just ran nightclubs for fucking 20 years. And basically you're now in this car with all these people that you've looked up to or watched online and like take this for what it is. This is an amazing experience. This couldn't even have been on your bucket list because the idea that I would ever fight in front of 5,000 people at a fucking stadium in the Gold Coast was so far past my own expectations that it couldn't be on my bucket list. And I was like, this is what it is. Win, lose or draw. This is an amazing experience. Just suck it up. And then I went out there and just fucking lost it. So that was completely off like script. I was just like, this is fucking so exciting. I was revved up, get in the ring, go up to the top. My trainer's like, come the fuck down. So we practiced the breathing that I did. And at that point, I sort of looked over and I could tell my opponent, Rob, was nervous. And then it was like everything zoned in. It just felt like it was just me and him in a room and I could just hear my trainer. And then we sparred out, punched on for the first round. I got some good kicks in and I felt safe. I felt good and I felt like I wasn't overwhelmed. The nerves just really didn't come. And I could see that he was struggling with the bright lights and it was making me more calm, which I know sounds crazy. And then I was like, I got this. Like, this is sweet. Like, worst case scenario, this turns around or he hits you hard, hold your fucking hands up. And then I started seeing towels and I started seeing different bits and pieces. And I was just like, I think the fact that I never lost my mind, I didn't lose my cool is what made the process. I believe the reason why I won that fight, because I believe Rob, and I've seen sparring videos of him beforehand, I believe he's a great fighter, good boxer. I believe the reason why I won that was literally because I was able to stay cooler and calmer in a situation that was super overwhelming for anybody normally than him. So afterwards, it was obviously, I wasn't really ecstatic. I was fucking tired. I went to the after party, had a few beers, said hello to people, whatever. Went home, woke up real early. On Sunday, I felt brain dead. Probably the combination of getting smashed in the face, but also too, I just was like, I guess the adrenaline dump, like it all finished. And it's taken a couple of days to sort of take in. Probably I'd say today's the first day where I've kind of been reflecting, being like, wow, like, did that happen? Even now, I'm still questioning, like, is this actually happening or am I in the fucking Matrix or some shit? But I don't know. This is going to sound like a real kind of like cliche sort of thing to say, but winning to me is, I just didn't give a fuck enough about it. Like that was like, it was awesome that I won. I'm sure I'd have to be fighting demons if I didn't. But of all the things that happened over that weekend, that was like the 10th coolest thing that happened. Like all the people I met, the experience I had, fighting in front of a stadium, fighting for the caliber of people, doing the press conference, being with my best friends in Gold Coast, like hanging out, talking shit, having my wife there, like watching me on the side of stage. There was so many things that were like super, super cool apart from that. So I don't know. I'm a big believer of that. If you get in the boxing ring, you can't lose, even if you do lose. And it's not like I'm going on to be Mike Tyson. So it was a bonus, but I wouldn't say it was the end. It wasn't the biggest or best thing that happened in that whole thing. That was a massive rant, but I wanted to be really honest with you guys about my emotions and stuff. And I definitely had questions in my head. Am I going to win? Am I going to lose? In my head, I believed that I was going to win. This is probably interesting, but I wouldn't say it out loud. So people would be like, you'll flog him, you'll do X, you'll do this. And I never wanted to say it. I never once had the guts to even say I'd knock him out or I'd win, because I had this superstitious thought that if I did, it would go against me and I would lose. So I had the confidence within me, but I never said it out loud. And I guess that was because, I don't know, some weird superstition thing. And then now I look back and I could be one of those guys and be like, yeah, I knew I was going to win the whole time. I definitely was telling myself that. But at the same time, I would be completely lying, because my thoughts were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all the time. And I've had 11 concussions, which is a real serious, kind of scary thing to go into a boxing match with. So I was definitely concerned about getting knocked out. I didn't really care about getting beaten. And I think that's what stopped me caring about being beaten so much, which probably calmed my nerves down, because as soon as I realized that I probably wasn't going to get knocked out, because I was able to hold my hands up, that was out the window. And I was like, well, I don't really care about lose, so I can't really lose, if that makes sense. But yeah, guys, if you want to keep seeing me live my crazy life, you want to keep seeing me do videos, and I know I've been a little bit shit on doing those club walk around ones, but I'm going to get right into it now that I don't have this fucking punch on to think about. Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let me know what you thought of this video.